Hello, this is Atron, and welcome back to Tutorial France, a series of videos for Europa Universalis 4, where I take a newcomer-friendly country that's pretty strong, like France. France is really strong, and take it for a spin and show what you can do with the game and some of the strategies that I use to play it, some of the things that I look at. So it's been a few weeks since I actually recorded the last episode. I got a good little game called Fallout 4, and it's been taking up some of my time. But I've had a look around, and it looked like we're in pretty good shape. But obviously, if I say something that I just said last episode, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to repeat myself. But yeah, we just started off our colony in St. Kitts. We've got a colonist en route. We had finished a war with England where we didn't actually take any land, but that means our aggressive expansion is low, so we could start a war. We do have a problem, however. Our king is 55, which means he could die at any moment, including like as soon as I start the clock. He probably won't die in any given day, but probably when it's least convenient. And his heir is average claim, which means we're going to start with low legitimacy, which is going to be a problem. It also means he's also 3, which means we're going to be stuck in a regency. If he dies tomorrow, we'll be stuck in a regency for 12 years. That means we can't declare war at all during that period. So we'd really like to get a war started as soon as possible so that we can basically use that peacetime to recover and not be stuck waiting for the regency to end so that we can declare war again. But since we do have no aggressive expansion, basically, let's take a look at exactly how 0, 0, 0, 0. England thinks 0. Burgundy thinks -4. Wow, yeah, that's really small. Only Burgundy and Rethel have any belief that we're a bully. Well, you guys are all wrong. I am a bully, but you just forgot. Right. So it looks like we're in good position to have a war with Burgundy potentially, or possibly Provence. I think when I was looking around, yeah, Burgundy has lost his king. I'm surprised I didn't notice that in one of the previous episodes. I would have expected it to have popped up in here, and I'm usually paying close enough attention to these to notice something big like Burgundy's king died. But, it's possible I missed it in a series, or I was in the middle of a war, or maybe it didn't pop up for some reason. Messages in this game are a little weird. They don't always pop up, especially when you're loading into the game or if you've got other stuff going on. But yeah, Burgundy's king died, and the reason that it's tremendously significant and very useful for us is that Burgundy has lost all these 3. He no longer has Flanders and Holland and Brabant as helpers, and you can see that. Yeah, if I go to the diplomacy view, they've got Nevers and they've got Lorraine, which they had those as vassals, so they get to keep those. And they had Milan as an ally, which is dark blue. But these, which were this purple, well, they were teal, I think. I don't know, but they were personal unions have ended, and the reason they ended is because Burgundy's prestige is negative. To maintain a personal union when your ruler dies, you have to have both positive prestige and I don't remember what the other one is. I think they have to have a positive opinion of you. I'm sure they had a positive opinion of Burgundy, but they clearly did not have positive prestige. And so therefore, the personal union ended, and these countries now all have their own kings. Yeah, with Duke Willem III, and Duchess Jacoba von Fabrice, and over here we have Duke Antoine I von Hoya. So these countries are now all going their own way. They probably will start fighting each other, frankly. And I'm fine with that, actually. I like that idea. So, what does Burgundy hasn't picked up any other allies, either because they weren't in a position to, or just they haven't gotten around to it yet. So just in case it's the latter, I think we should declare war right now. Yeah, let's not mess around here. One more thing. I want to check. Do I need any more claims? I'm probably not going to take more than 3 pieces of land anyway, and I might not even do that. I do want to return Calais to England for the bonus. I could always take Lorraine away as a vassal if I had nothing better to do. This is going to be a good war. Burgundy's going to have a hard time defending this land because it's all strung out and separated from this. And I don't think they have very many forts. 1 fort in Artois, a fort in Rethel that's usually underfunded, and 2 forts down here, and a fort in Lorraine. And Milan has 2 forts. Yeah, well, we'll see. But yeah, the claim situation I was taking a look at. So I'm probably not going to take anything but Artois, Cambrai, and possibly Charolais down there. Hainaut might be nice. Is it part of the Holy Roman Empire? The reason I care is the Burgundian inheritance could get triggered during this war or at some later date, and that would result in this land going to, right now, Bohemia, who is the emperor. Well, not these two, because I own these two, but it would result in Metz, Luxembourg, Liège, Namur, Hainaut, and Cambrai all going to Bohemia. And the more of this I can take, the less danger I am in of ever getting Bohemia to big enough over here to matter. If they end up with 2 or 3 provinces, at this point, the Burgundian inheritance might not even happen. We'll see. It stops being possible, I believe, in 1500. So we've only got a few more years to survive. That may be all that Burgundy survives anyway, because the smaller they get, the more tempting it's going to be for somebody nearby to eat them up. Maybe us. Right. So claims. Burgundy. We have a claim here. Ooh, this claim's about to expire. Right, this is actually a weird corner case. Normally, truces expire at the end of the month, and claims that would expire during the truce expire at the end of the month when the truce expires. I'm not entirely sure why they do that, frankly. It seems a little bit odd, but they do. Maybe so that you can't start reclaiming them until after your truce ends? I don't know, but it's a really awkward and annoying mechanic. But here we've actually found a loophole, because we loaded back into the game during the month that the truce ended, but after the truce actually ended, we can go to war right now, and we still have a claim on this province until December 1st. If we had been playing normally, the truce would have expired when it expired, but it wouldn't have actually taken the penalties away until December 1st when the claim went away. So we would have had to take that massive penalty for breaking a truce, and our ally wouldn't have joined us, to go to war against Burgundy. But now we've somehow managed to evade that. Not through clever planning on my part, by any means. But yeah, that being said, we definitely want Artois, so we'd rather keep the claim on that than potentially... Actually, I could go ahead and start claiming... Oh, I know. With one diplomat. No, because if I send a diplomat, I won't be able to send another one. No, we'll just declare war. Just declare war. Call Austria. Do not call Castile. We're stuck with Lorraine and Nevers because they're vassals. Milan will come. Yeah, they're happy to come. We do not want to make them a co-belligerent. I haven't talked about co-belligeranting. Basically, what it means is that it's as if you declared war on them too. You don't have to have a particular CB. They're your enemy's allies, so that's good enough. But what it does is it makes them basically, they can call their own allies. Normally, Milan is participating in this war as an ally. They can't call their own allies that Burgundy doesn't share. So in the case of Milan, that would be the Papal State. So if I declare war on Burgundy and I do not make Milan a co-belligerent, which I'm not going to if I don't check this box, Milan cannot in turn call the Papal State in. If I made them a co-belligerent, they would be able to call the Papal State in. However, I can take land from them as if they were the original war target. It's not more expensive, and it doesn't cause more aggressive expansion. Basically, it's just a joint war against them. There's a few times when that's useful, but most of the time it's not that good of a plan. Actually, I think it might only be a reduction in the war score cost. I think you still get the full aggressive expansion, which might be why I never consider it anymore. It used to be a big part of tactics in the game. You would sometimes just basically contrive a CB against, let's say I really wanted to go to war against Milan, but I didn't want Milan to bring in their allies. It wouldn't in this case because their only ally is the person I want to go to war with, and I don't care that much about the Papal State. But let's say that Milan had Austria, Bohemia, and Poland all as allies, and I wanted to take some land from Milan. If Milan also had Lorraine, let's say, was free, and they had them as an ally, I could declare war on Lorraine, make Milan a co-belligerent, take land from Milan, and not make Milan a co-belligerent. This was before the co-belligerent rules existed. I could just take land from Milan because they were an ally of the war target Lorraine. But no, not anymore. With the way that they've recalculated how aggressive expansion works and the co-belligerent rules, I rarely do this. Occasionally, but rarely. And I'm definitely not here. So we'll attack Austria. And what should we make the war over? I probably want Artois, but that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters for is ticking war score, and I'd much rather take a province that has no fort that is not occupied by a fort, so that I can take it over earlier and get the ticking war score. And in this case, I'm not even going to wait for my armies to be in position. They're horribly, horribly out of position, but I just don't care. because I don't want to risk Burgundy getting allies. I don't know why they haven't yet. They probably should have immediately, but I guess we just loaded into the game and the computer will rerun all its diplomatic calculations. I don't want to give them the chance. So, yeah, let's go. I said let's go. There we go. Look at that. We're in a war. Do we have any troop? Where are our troops? Okay, you guys march over there. You guys march over there. You guys march over here. Oh, those are mercenaries. Okay, so we want the mercenaries up here. What do we have for leaders? Oh, you're pretty good. Okay. Actually, I want this guy to move fast first. So we'll take the guy with really high maneuver. And you can go down to Champagne. And let's see. I'll put the leader that actually fights well right here. And you have some maneuver. So just to get my troops in position a little faster. And Austria should join us tomorrow, and Milan will join them tomorrow. And then we'll see what the force breakdown looks like. All right. Well, what do I want to do with my other diplomat? We're in the middle of annexing Brittany, so our relationship with Brittany doesn't much matter. How's our relationship with Wales look? It's okay, but I'd like to actually get that up a bit so that it can survive some ticks down. Because I just declared war, we won't be able to bring Wales into the fold right now. It's kind of annoying, but this was way, way, way more important. I can do diplomatic shenanigans during the Regency, and it won't be an issue. Probably. So, right, let's go. Alright, what just happened? This is the usual stuff happened after loading into the game. Rivals changing, we don't care about any of that. No, we don't care about any of that. Yep, okay. They declared a trade embargo on us. Ooh, yeah. We're scared now. It does look like I'm going to have all of Burgundy's forces concentrated on me. How much is that? Oh, it's not that much. It's a lot, but it's not that much. It's a 46 stack. If everything gets up here, I can probably cut Milan off. So that's going to be my strategy. These guys are almost certainly going to concentrate before I can do anything about it. But if I can keep Milan from linking up with these guys, then my 40 guys here should be able to handle Burgundy's army. So I've actually fought several wars, but I haven't really talked a whole lot about the theory of of how I fight wars. I mean, there's a lot of different ways to fight wars in this game, but I tend to divide wars into phases. I call the early phase, the middle phase, and the late phase. And for me, the early phase is all about controlling the enemy army. I'm less worried about territory in that stage of the game, stage of the war. The only exceptions are territories that my allies might siege and then not give me, that I want to make sure I get. Or conversely, if I'm fighting as an ally in somebody else's war, stuff I want to take so that they can't, because they won't be able to get what they actually want out of the war if I take it for them. Yes, I'm a very helpful ally. No, I'm just kidding. I'm really not. At least not in AI wars. So there's some maneuvering for territory. Picking up the territory that gives ticking war score is always good, but I don't consider it vital at this stage of the game. I guess I should probably send my ships over here. Seems like a good idea. Right, so I don't consider that territory that much of a vital thing in the early phase. It's really about winning the initial engagements, keeping the enemy from concentrating, keeping the enemy pinned up in an area where they can't get to the main area of the battlefield potentially, sort of tactical maneuvering. Then the middle phase is where the war is still not really decided yet. There's been some decisive battles. One side probably has the upper hand in terms of manpower, and then it's really about for me, it's continuing the pressure, keeping the pressure on the opponent. And then the late stage is really just mop up. You've won the war. It's just a matter of finishing up your sieges and preventing the enemy from recovering in any capacity. So in this early phase, we're going to concentrate on keeping Milan from reinforcing up here, and then seeing how we can maneuver around to deal with Burgundy's army. Hopefully they'll split it up and do silly things, and we'll be able to pick them off in parts. That's actually one of the problems with a situation like Burgundy, where they have a bunch of minor friends, because they can't actually they don't always coordinate that effectively. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll be very effective, but other times they'll just do silly things. Oh, and I've got another diplomat to do something with. Sorry. about my extended discussion here. How's our relations with Austria? It is at 55. Well, we can work on that. I don't really know how much I want Austria to be a long-term friend, considering they've lost a bunch of their territory, although they've gained some down in here in Italy. I don't know. We'll see. Oop. We arrived in Vermandois. Where are you going? You're going to Rethel on the 2nd of December. If I put the really... This is the really good general in charge. And I went to Rethel. Would I get there by... I'd get there on the 6th. I'm almost certain he can't move off by the 6th. The question is, would I be exposing my guys to problems by doing that? I don't know where Burgundy's army is at all. It could be... Well, it's definitely not in any of these provinces. It must be in one of these 3. So if I did that... Yeah, these guys are not in position to support. So I'd love to do that. I'd love to take a battle against just these 6. But it's not going to be an instantaneous stack wipe. And if Burgundy's up here, they could immediately reinforce. I could be in a 40 to 20 situation, and my guys aren't quite close enough yet. So I'd love to do that, but I'm not going to take that chance. Now, if they stop in Rethel or do something silly like that, then I'll do something about it. Oh, there goes Burgundy's army. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so they're going to come siege Picardy. Great, you have fun with that, Burgundy. That's a great place for you. These guys are going to Barrois, so they're going away. So let's chase them. They may be going down to link up with Milan. So let's focus on that. I believe, does Picardy have a fort? It does. So they're just going to have to sit there and siege that fort for a while. I'm perfectly fine with that. And Flanders and Holland have rivals. Yeah, stuff's going on. I said they would go to war. Oh, they're taking the first steps. Okay, so these guys, I think we do want to go to Rethel, but I think we want to go through Vermandois. Because Rethel is the infamous... Nevers has 2 forts. Actually, they only have 1 fort. But Nevers is a tiny little vassal country that doesn't really have the money to maintain this fort, so it never keeps it staffed with guys. So I can roll in, siege this in 1 month, and then I'll have a major chunk of war score just from that. So there's really no advantage to doing this right off the bat, but I like to do it. Just in case they somehow find the money to start funding it, it saves a long siege later. Yes, that's fine. You siege Picardy. Have fun with that. No, this is not good. Oh, okay, they changed their mind. Okay, go there. And they're going away. I don't know where Milan is. Oh, there they are. They're sieging Austria. Great! You have fun with that. You're being extraordinarily helpful, AI. I appreciate it. Oh, and I have an AI friend, don't I? I have Brittany. Brittany's coming up here. I don't suggest you attack that 18. That seems like a silly idea to me. But we'll take you over here. This is the army with the strong general. Yep, that seems reasonable. We'll wait. I do not want to, even if I could attack this separately, I want to wait for it to become significantly apart from Burgundy so Burgundy can't reinforce. Oh, these guys may be going to siege Sundgau. That would be hilarious. Hilariously bad idea, incidentally. Alright, our boats are out here, so we have now... Burgundy has basically no useful navy anyway. They've got 3 transports and a light ship. And now they can't do anything with it, so... Have fun with that, Burgundy. Alright. 21st, 22nd. We're just going to miss them in Lotharingian. It's woods. Sundgau is also woods, so it doesn't much matter. I was right. They are going to Sundgau. Yeah, they're sieging Sundgau. I'm fine with that. Over here. I'll go ahead and move you to Barrois. Sure. I don't know where these guys are going, but when they get there, I'm going to want to hit them. Ooh. They're going to... Oh, Liège. Okay. Holland and England are allies. Well, that wasn't what I wanted to see. Well, it doesn't really matter that much. Holland's just not that big. And I've beaten England once. I can beat them again. I'd rather Holland be fighting the later war with England than the current war. That's fine. Alright. We've got a war going, a battle going down on the 29th. And there we go. What do we look like in terms of generals? I've got a 1-4. He's got a 0-1. Oh, that's terrible, Lorraine. That is just terrible. We'll see how that goes for you when we get to the shock phase. Yeah, not very well. Oh, Burgundy has abandoned their siege because they see that I'm crushing their portal vassal. Now, probably because they've decided they now probably should concentrate with these guys. I probably could have gotten that 7 killed if I had tried hard enough. But, yeah, I just wiped out 6, and that's pretty good. And we know Milan is down here. Oh, look, there's Austria. Are they going to come over here, or are they going to come down here and attack Milan? I'd rather you came down here, actually, honestly, Austria. How about if I tell you that? If I tell you to come down here, will you actually listen to me? I want you to siege Milan because I don't want any of it. I don't really want to have to walk across the Alps. Ride, whatever. Can I reach him in time? Almost certainly not. No way. I think I missed the boat here. Can these guys move yet? No. Right. Forts. They have no forts in any of this stuff. Great! Well, since they're busy concentrating, and it looks like Burgundy's decided to turn around and go siege Picardy again, they probably saw that I was fighting a battle and decided that they thought they could somehow get there in time before it ended. That was kind of silly, but seems to have been their reasoning. Now they've decided there's no imminent threat of me attacking them, so they'll go back and siege Picardy. I'm fine with that. I'm going to hang out in Lotharingen for a bit. I'm not really that serious about sieging it, but it does stop Lorraine from actually building any more troops. We wiped out all of Lorraine's troops, and this is the only province they can build them in. So, so I'm okay with that. I don't know that I need the whole crew here for that, though. I'm going to go ahead and let... I don't want to engage this because I want... Yeah, I don't think I... I don't know, actually. Yeah, my general's stuck here where I can't get to him. Probably not the greatest planning. Alright, well, yeah, I'm going to let these guys just go. They'll either get over here and stay, or they'll get over here, turn around, and go somewhere else. Neither of which I particularly care about. What I do care about, actually, right now is sieging up as much of this land that isn't guarded by forts as I can. I know I just got through saying that I don't care much about territory in the early war. In this case, though, they've got a whole bunch of land that isn't guarded by forts. I can siege that easily and quickly, and momentarily Burgundy's out of position to do anything about it. That will deny them money, manpower, and it will also deny them anywhere a base to build troops from when I start killing them. And there's basically no cost to me, since I'm not... The opportunity cost is a battle that I'm not going to fight anyway. And incidentally, we took Rothel, as I said. Had no garrison, so it was an easy take. Oh yes, they're sieging Picardy again. You go for that. I'm actually going to leave one guy here. That was not what I wanted. I wanted the army. We'll leave a few guys here. Take this army up here and take over Metz. And the other reason I want to do that is I want to get the general loose. I don't really need the general here in this siege at the moment. One other very important thing. I have an army force limit, but I was waiting to take military tech until the new year came around because I still had a 10% ahead of time penalty. It was offset somewhat by the neighbor bonus, but I said there was no pressing need for it. Well, It's now January. There's no ahead of time penalty, so we'll go ahead and take this. The reason I want to take this is military tactics. Military tactics are awesome. It makes you fight better on both sides. Infantry fire is minor help. The bigger thing is we can build cannons. Cannons aren't really very good at fighting at this stage of technology, but they are very good at sieging. So I think I'm safe to build in Paris. I don't think they can reach Paris. They'd have to siege Picardy down first. They won't do that in 108 days, so I'm not worried about that army getting picked off. Alright, so we'll build ourselves a cannon. We're not making a lot of money, which is kind of a shame, but it's alright. I have a mission to accumulate money, don't I? I think I do. Yeah, that's a terrible mission. We're going to cancel that. I won't be able to get a new one for a year, but just don't care. That's a terrible mission. We're not going to be accumulating money for a long time. Maybe during the peacetime, but I've got better things to do. I actually missed a really, really important mission, which was that if I had, if you don't have a colonist en route, sometimes they'll ask you to colonize a specific province, and if you do that, you get a massive bonus to colonization for a while. So I should have done that before I sent the colonists to St. Kitts, but I forgot, and I had that stupid mission blocking us, and yeah, that's it's a shame, but we'll live with it. Right, so we've got 2 sieges going on here. I'm going to watch what happens in Nevers and see what this Nevers army and see what it does. Yeah, it's going to turn around and come back. See, I think they're probably going to come over here and try to siege Rethel back. It looks like an intelligent thing to do because the garrison is low. Here's a hint. It's not. Not when you've got 33 right next to you and 14 that can reach it. And we just got 140 men in there, so they're not even going to be able to take it back in the first month. And like I said, it's not going to matter. Yeah, see, they're going to try to siege it. And what we're going to do is take these 4 over here. France has occupied Luxembourg. That's totally what I expected to happen. How close are we here? We're still a ways off on this one. That's the general I actually want, but I have plenty of time. I don't really care that much about this. I need this army to be ready to go into Rethel. Occupied Liège. Oh, they breached the walls. That's annoying. But we'll deal with it. They're still not going to break through anytime soon. Yes, I want to see the siege progress. Yeah, 42. They've actually done very well. They got a couple of supply shortages, and yeah, whatever. They're going to abandon it in a minute anyway. And if they don't, so much the better. I'll kill these 7 unmolested. Yeah, so you need to have the... okay, and if you're wondering why the strategy of why I did that, I could have marched these 14 back over here, and probably in hindsight I should have, but I managed to take a province with them anyway. I can teleport this general since he's in friendly territory. I want to teleport him to this army, which is also in friendly territory, because I've taken over both of these provinces. I want this guy to have the fighting general, because he's about to go fight these guys in Rethel. Along with these 20, but I just want to make sure they arrive in the right order. 27th, March 1st. So no, we need to wait 2 days? I think 3 days on that. You should march over here. If you go there, now you'll arrive on March 1st, and these guys will arrive on March 1st. So I need to wait 1 day on you. Done. And if you guys, we need you to arrive on March 2nd. No, 2 days. Yeah, perfect. Alright, over there on March 2nd. And that means that these guys will take point. They're the mercenaries and my vassal troops, who I don't care about. And then the regulars will come in behind, help crush these 7 as fast as possible, but also not take as much casualties. I guess I shouldn't be paying that close attention. I mean, I've got almost full manpower, and I'm about to go into a regency where I won't be able to declare war, and it'll definitely recover. But yeah, whatever. Habitual. I like to soak damage on my mercenaries. And I'm going to give these guys Oop, that wasn't what I intended to do. I wanted you to continue on through Barwa. Fine, whatever. I'm giving these guys a destination so that we won't all hang out in Ruthel. As soon as the battle ends, they'll all exit so that we don't take a lot of attrition. I'll leave the mercenaries in Ruthel, that's fine. Yeah, so here we go. March 1st, battle begins. Oh, their general took point anyway. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We've got a better... Is he a better general? He's a 5 fire, 2 shock. I'd rather have my guy. He's better, trust me. I know you've got more pips, but I've got better pips. And Burgundy has decided not to move, probably because they think that they've made some siege progress, and they're right that this is a hopeless battle anyway. I mean, they're hosed. It's 53-5. What did you think was going to happen? We're actually not doing that well. I mean, we're not losing very many men, but we should be crushing them, and we're not. See, look at that. Shock phase. They rolled an 8. We rolled a 0. But we stack wiped in them anyway, probably because they ran out of morale, and there's some calculation that says if you're just so much bigger than they are, they can't find an effective way to retreat and just die. So we'll take that. So now all that's left, I think, is Burgundy and Milan. Yep, neither Nevers or Lorraine have troops. Nevers will rebuild. I could go down and... Well, they'll both rebuild. But they'll rebuild slowly, and I don't really care about that. Burgundy's general is the same as mine. I think we'll take you guys to Vermandois. And we will let our guys recover for a bit, and then we will stage an attack on Burgundy's army, because since it's gotten some luck sieging, we don't really want to let it continue to do that. This army is completely undamaged, so it can go hang out in Namur and siege that. Aha! Disease outbreak! Good for you. This army is mostly not damaged. It took a little bit of casualties. It was mixed up. Yeah, it took... Wow, ooh, so many men missing. Watch this get refilled. Yep, so this is now a 20 army. And this army, which unfortunately took the most casualties, got a weak recovery tick. You get better reinforcement of your troops if you are in if you're in actually owned friendly territory. This sort of territory that we've taken over in a war, while I can use it for teleporting generals, doesn't really seem to get my manpower to it very effectively. Probably because I don't have good supply lines or something. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's a number of legitimate reasons why that would be the case. But that being said, it isn't very... it's better to park your armies that need to recover in friendly territory. So we're actually going to let these guys arrive, and we'll let them sit in Vermandois for one... yeah, they just missed the month tick by about a day. We'll let them sit in Vermandois for a month or two, probably just 1 month, to recover some men. And since we've been losing money, we need to accumulate it. I'm probably going to fire all my mercenaries after this war anyway. So I actually think I'll wait and get above 800. Wait for the month tick, and after that I'll consolidate the mercenaries, which will probably get rid of one of them. How about you go over there? This is kind of putting me out of position, but I want everybody ready to attack these guys. Actually, I really didn't need to do that. You can turn around. We're marching around for fun. We're intimidating you. I'll move these guys to Artois when they finish their siege. All right, another province down. Over to Artois. Whoop. All right, our colonist has arrived in St. Kitts, and because this is our first colony in the New World, where there are American natives, I don't know why it doesn't consider the African natives for this, we get to decide on what our policy is towards the colonial people. And our options are to kill them, making more room for our colonists, or we can trade with them, which will cost us some money, which I really have trouble affording, but I really like this option because it makes the colony richer. And we can try to coexist. And these all have events, but it really isn't very well fleshed out. Um, this is actually all going to change in the next expansion. They're reworking this mechanic so that when you have colonies and this is more of a like ongoing thing that you build up in some way. I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention to it, but supposedly it's getting an overhaul. I will trade with the natives because I don't like killing them, and I don't think we can coexist. But we'll trade with you. We'll probably trade diseases largely, but also goods. That was grim. Sorry. Fine. What's going on here? Diplomats are still doing okay. We've got our army back in Paris. These guys are moving to Artois. Not to start sieging it. I mean, they will start sieging it. Okay. I'll take a look at that in a minute. But more to get into position for sort of a pincer attack on Burgundy's army. And what happened here? These guys... Oh, we're not yet to May 1st. Right. As soon as we hit May 1st, I'll get that recovery, get that consolidation happening. Okay, so Hungary has accepted peace with Venice. Venice will cede Venezia and Istria to Hungary and Euboea to Greece. Does Venice have anything left? It's just Treviso. Venice is just Treviso. They started off with this and this and this and this and this and this. And... Oh, no, they still have Corfu. Okay, and Corfu and Euboea and Crete. And Naxos somewhere, which is one of these set of islands. These set of islands? Yeah. And they've lost all of that. Well, I'm sorry for you, Venice. I don't normally see them fall apart quite that quickly. And they no longer consider Venice a rival, or Venice a valid rival target. I wonder why. Big, tiny. But now they're going to rival Austria, which I'm actually thinking I might like. Aragon and Hungary are allies. That means that if I end up going to war with Aragon at some point, that Austria might help me. Where is Milan's army? It's no longer in Austrian territory. I suppose I should pay attention to that. Austria is in Milanese territory, which is a good thing. But, yeah. Right. Missing Milan army. How big is it? It is 9,000 and 5,000. 14,000. That's a pretty big army. Alright. Well, I think we need to do this fight. So you guys... Alright, 8473. I'm going to consolidate regiments. Yeah, consolidate regiments. So we now have 8 full-strength guys. I'm going to take you and... I'll keep you around for now, but I'm not going to make you part of this attack because you'll just be a weak link. So the rest of you guys go over here. You do not attach to this unit. You guys go over here. They'll arrive on the 6th. You know, they'll probably bring that stupid general along again. I lied. You should have the good general, and despite the fact that I should go first with my mercenaries, I'm not going to. So on the 10th, you guys will get there on the 6th. That's way too early. So they need to wait 5 days. This general might take over anyway. You know what? Here. Don't attach to me anymore. I don't want your stupid general that thinks he's better than mine, but really isn't. I'm on the wrong screen, aren't I? I want to go to subjects, and I want to... No, that's not what we wanted. Military focus. We will make you aggressive. Don't attach to me. I want you to go siege Nevers. Sure. Normally, I would prefer to have the army support so that I can keep my forces concentrated, but here I actively don't want that general, so I'm going to give him a minute to sit here. I'm going to give him a minute to go reposition, and then we'll see. We'll see if he actually listens. Are you listening? Well, he detached. Yeah, there he goes. Look at that. Bye. Alright, so now, if I send these 8 over here, they'll arrive on the 10th. No, they'll arrive on the 10th in Picardy. These guys will arrive on the 14th. So I actually don't want to send these guys yet. These guys will arrive. Well, you'll arrive in Hainaut on the 6th. So we'll let that happen. Alright, 14th, if I go now, not with you, go there. 'Cause I keep clicking on you, and I don't want you. You'll arrive on the 11th and the 14th. I'd like to arrive on the... So we'll let 2 days go by. I want to arrive on the 13th. I want to arrive on the 13th. You'll arrive on the 14th. You guys will arrive on the 12th. That's too early. So we'll wait 2 days. 2 more days. Alright. You guys to there. You'll arrive on the 14th. You'll arrive on the 14th. You'll arrive on the 13th. Look at that. Perfect pincer attack. And you guys turn around and go to Paris after it's all over. And you guys turn around and go to Vermandois when it's all over. And I'll just let these... I'll figure out what to do with these 20 when the time actually comes. Oh, they're going to siege back Metz. Oh, wow. I feel so good for you. Alright, well, we found Milan's army. Oh, it got beat up. Austria won a battle. So never mind. It's not mysteriously missing. Well, I'm going to win a battle too. Watch this. Now watch, I'll lose it. Our cannon is here. This is good, but we'll wait until after this battle is over to use it. Yeah, 47 to 19. How do you like them odds? And yeah, we're balancing the shock phase, so we're gonna take some casualties out of this battle, but I don't really care. Ooh, we rolled very well. Now we'll roll terribly on the shock phase. We didn't roll well, but they rolled worse, so I can live with that. Yeah, this is a win. Definite win. Yeah, they rolled well in the shock phase, but they've just lost too many men. We got too much of an advantage here. What? Wait, what? Where was all this stuff? Oh, right. We had claimed Naples as part of an event, and I said I probably wouldn't use it. I didn't, and the claim expired. So we no longer can go to war for Naples. Yet. We might at some time in the future. But we'll do it the conventional way. We don't need no stinking events to help us. Yeah, look at that. We won that battle handily. Look at all those cavalry we destroyed. That's really good. Cavalry are expensive to reinforce. We lost some cav too, but that's okay. Pretty good. That was a big battle. All right, so at this point, I talked about phases of the war. I really think that's a good demarcation point for the end of the beginning phase of the war. We just won the sort of last major battle against the last untouched enemy troop. We hadn't actually fought Burgundy. We picked off Lorraine. Lorraine's rebuilt a tiny bit. We had picked... we haven't fought Milan, but Austria has, and Austria's forced to... Where did Austria's... Austria! I told you to... Whatever. Whatever, Austria. Right. So now we've got these guys on the run. We've taken some territory. That wasn't really that important, but and these guys may take Metz back. I don't really care about that. At this point, it's going to be about putting the pressure on. So what I want to do is I want to stamp on this army before it gets much bigger. I want to chase this army down and kill it. I'm not even sure where they're going. They probably can't get very far. So actually, we'll go there. You guys are going to move here because you can reach that in time. And we'll let these armies that have taken some damage recover a bit, and we'll start working on sieges pretty soon here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and send the mercenaries up to Artois, and I'm going to go ahead and send this cannon up to Artois, and we'll get the siege of Artois started. Mostly because once I start the siege of Artois, then I can take these 3 lands. And the fort won't automatically take them back. Yeah, I'm less worried about Metz. If they take it back, that's fine. My bigger priority is killing this army wherever it retreats to. It's probably retreating to Hainaut, which is a shame because it's not very far away. We're going to Cambrai now. I'm going to go to... No, I can't get to Hainaut right now. Fine. We'll go to Cambrai also. Can I not... Oh, I have to go through Vermandois? Really? That's terrible. Fine, you go over here. Austria has decided... I don't know what Austria's decided. Maybe Austria's decided that they want to siege this. Oh, no, I don't know where you guys are going. I may have to end up fighting it with these guys. Yep. Alright, so we got ourselves a siege of Artois going. And one thing I wanted to point out is that now that we have a cannon, we get a nice +1 bonus from having besieging artillery. If we had 4 artillery, it would be a +2 bonus, but we're not anywhere close to that at the moment. That's a lot of cannons. Cannons are quite expensive. We'll get more than 1, but just having 1 will help the siege go quite a bit faster. It's not on a port, so we don't need to worry about that. We don't have any siege pips on any of our generals. Oh, really? Did I leave the good guy here? That's irritating. Fine. Select army. Select this army. Select, we need to create a new unit. And we'll take the most damaged guy. Yeah, we want to leave everybody behind but the most damaged guy. We'll take the most damaged guy, march him back to Vermandois so I can detach the general. I do not want my good general tied up on a siege. Do I have any generals with siege pip? No, I don't. Okay. Then it doesn't matter having any general there. They're just more likely to die in the siege. Where are you retreating to? They may be retreating all the way down to Milan. Well, that's very strange. We accidentally, while I was trying to maneuver to fight this army, I accidentally collided with Lorraine, and I'm going to kill them. Oh, here's Milan coming up. Okay. So we need to arrange for that battle to happen. We'll go in Metz. Go to Metz and re-siege it down. Not because I care about it, but because it's in a good position to deal with Milan when they come. Get rid of the bad general, or the good general, and send you back over here. Yep, 2,000 men in Barrois dead, and I only lost 139. So this is a little more chaotic than I like it. I've got Brittany sieging down here. There I go with country starting with B. Burgundy's army got away. I wasn't expecting it to retreat all the way the heck down here, but it did. Austria brought all their troops up here. No, where? Austria? What are you doing? Where are you going? Gascony. That's why. I've got this stupid... Oh, I have this attached to unit here. This is supposed to... These guys are supposed to be transported to the colonies. Oops. Right, get on board the boat. So it's my fault. I left a stray unit around that had attached to orders. Fine. We'll transport you over here. You can see that now that my colonist has arrived, St. Kitts is the French blue, but it looks a little different. It's not an actual province yet. It's just a colony. And it's a smaller screen, and there you still have the base tax, the base production, and the manpower. You can see that some colonies can start with a pretty decent base tax, and especially base production. This has to do with the fact that you're sort of taking over new natural resources. But they always start with dreadful manpower because there's just not enough people there that are interested in joining the army. They probably went to the colony because they didn't want to join the army. The culture is listed there. I've never seen unrest in a settlement, or a colony, but I imagine you can have it. The religion. This is what trade good will be there. Right now, we don't know yet because it's not. There's not enough people there. We've only got like 10 people there. And then there's some important things on here. One of them is this settlers bar. There are 39 settlers here. It'll have to be 1,000 before it actually becomes a full province. So we got a long way to go. This growth is our natural growth rate. So if nothing else happens, there 29 settlers will appear every year in this colony. As you can figure, that's a lot of years before we get to 1,000. However, because we have a colonist assigned here, the colonist has this % chance every month to add new colonists. It's 19% right now. It may go up at some point. It will definitely go up as the colony gets bigger. So this ends up accelerating it. Once you get to about 500 or 600, the settler fires. This chance fires so often that it finishes off the colony really fast, and then it just continues to help that. And every time this chance we roll well, if we roll under 19 on a 100-sided dice or whatever the mechanic is, that 19% chance happens, we will get 25 extra settlers, and that chance happens every month. So we could get really lucky and get, a whole string of months where we get 25 settlers a month. Probably won't happen. I expect this to take somewhere around 6 to 7, maybe 10 years. Probably more like 10 years, because we didn't get that bonus. The bonus gives you extra guaranteed growth and extra settler percent chance, but we didn't get the bonus, so we're not gonna have that. Sorry. And yeah, we'll find out what the trade good is. Typically, when the settlement grows to around 250 to 300 settlers, at that point, there's enough people that they can start thinking about something besides just surviving. Also, it tells you how many natives. I think I looked at this already. I might have looked at this already on uncolonized territories, but I might not have talked about it extensively. Natives. I probably never even showed any because we didn't have very much uncolonized land visible until I actually jumped in and colonized something. So this is how many natives there are there, and that's both a good and a bad thing. The more natives, the better discount we get to increase the development in this province after it becomes a full city. So the natives get integrated into the population, and they're apparently adept at building up settlements or something. Maybe they know the terrain. But it also is the size of the natives that will rise up and attack if they decide that they're going to rebel. Or rebel, they're not under my rule. If they decide they're going to attack the colony, we'll get 1,000, which is 1 unit of troops. Which is not very serious, not very threatening. I'm not that worried about it, but it's something to deal with. Aggressiveness is how likely they will be to rise up and attack the settlers. Ferocity is how much of a bonus they get to their damage when they rise up and attack the settlers. And their damage without much ferocity is pathetic. They won't even defeat relatively unsophisticated troops. So I'm going to take 2,000 guys over there and park them to defend the colony. If you don't have any troops and the natives rise up, they kill as many people as are there divided by 10, I think. So these guys would kill 100, I believe. Yeah, so they'd kill 100 men. So that would just completely wipe out the value of the settlement. So I've got to park something there to absorb the attacks, but it doesn't really need to be a very strong force. So that's what those 2 men were set aside for, and I've put them on the boat and they're shipped over there. I just should have not had the attach on because I've somehow tempted Austria to take its entire army over here instead of actually doing something useful with it. Alright, well, I think this war is going pretty well. I should probably take a break at this point and end the episode, but we'll see you back next time. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.